This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome to Farm Factor. Up first today, Duane Toews visits with Greg Tylka to talk about preventing the soybean cyst nematode.
Duane Toews joining you once again here on Ag AM in Kansas, and an opportunity to catch up with Greg Tylka talking about soybean cyst nematode. And Greg, I know you're really in as a researcher kind of on the ground floor of some of that a number of years ago. Unfortunately, the problem remains. Cyst nematode is one of those particular pests that some guys don't even know how much yield they're losing.
Duane, you're exactly right. I call it a hidden yield robber. I liken it to high blood pressure with humans. A lot of folks have that and don't know about it, and it's as serious of a problem as high blood pressure is. And so the SCN Coalition is a national effort to make farmers aware of the problem and then to talk to them about how to best manage it.
Talk a little bit about some of those things that are going on in the research. Obviously, for those that have dealt with them before, we know there are different races of nematode. They evolve over time, and has kind of led to some of the reasons why we need continued research.
So in the 1990s, we did the first SCN Coalition, and its message was very simple. Take the test, beat the pest. So if a farmer did the soil sampling to discover they had SCN, they simply started growing resistant soybeans. And that worked really well for over 2 decades. But those resistant soybeans had all the same genes, essentially. And so now Mother Nature has thrown us a curveball, as we expected she would, and the nematode has become resistant to the resistance. And so research is desperately working to come up with new types of resistance, varieties with different sources that we've known about for decades. And then also a big area of research is seed treatments to put onto the seeds to help the native resistance against the nematode.
Talk a little bit about that testing. Obviously, a soil test required. What's the best timing of that for a grower to see if they have a problem if they were unaware?
Well, I jokingly say, but it's sincere, the best time to sample is when you're able to do it. But if you're able to do it at all times of the year, probably the most useful is in the fall. So that way you have your results heading into the winter and you can plan the next year's crop. But it's certainly okay to sample in the spring once the ground thaws if you're in a northern climate, or even in the summer if you see something weird and you want to have it checked out.
Obviously, the problem kind of started, I guess from my perspective, it kind of ran up the Mississippi River Basin. Is that your perspective as well?
Yes, it was first found in the coastal region of North Carolina, but it very quickly jumped to the Boot Heel of Missouri, and then it's been spreading up and down from there. But it's also had spread through the south from that first discovery in North Carolina.
So in essence, we end up with additional soybean growers that maybe 10 years ago didn't have a problem. Today they may.
They may, and anything that moves soil can move the nematode that produces eggs in a very resistant female or cyst, and those things are tiny and could be in windblown soil particles or particles that are moved on equipment. So yes, it's something that everybody throughout the U.S. who grows soybeans needs to be aware of.
When you reference tiny, it's not to the naked eye, unfortunately. A grower really has to use that soil test to see if they've got it.
Right, exactly. And one of the things I can point viewers and listeners to is the website of the SCN Coalition, which has a map you can click on for your state and find out what the soil test labs are that do that test in your state. And that website is the scncoalition.com. No spaces. The scncoalition.com.
Our thanks to Greg Tylka joining us here on Ag AM in Kansas. Jamie, we'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Duane. Be sure to come back after these messages for this week's Kansas Soybean Update.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source. Together we grow.